All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners, we got a surprise for you guys. You already know we have the one, the only, the West Coast legend. We got MacShawn, also known as MacShawn100, on the line. How you doing this evening? It's this afternoon, sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, how you doing, champ? Shout out to 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM. MacShawn100 is in the building, and we rock it and rolling. And you do know that. Shout out to everybody on this Saturday across the world, in Canada, all over the West Coast, the Northwest, all through the South, and all our friends, all our listeners. Black Lives Matter, and shout out to Juneteenth. And you do know that, okay?
Oh, man, most definitely.
Yes.
I got to ask you,
Yes,
Sean,
sir.
from the beginning, man, like, what made you decide to get into the music industry?
Well, man, listen, I started this thing, man, I was real young. Me and some of my partners and cousins. I was young, and I'm talking about 13, 12, 14 years old, doing talent shows back in the days. You know, I've always been really musically inclined. My mother was really a big music lady. You think she was a lady that had 1,000 fucking records, a little bit of everything, and me coming up under her, you know, I was just into the music scene tough since a real young lad. So that's been in my blood a long time, man. And now me performing, that turned into something else by me already having that music energy in me. It turned into, you know, being a performer myself.
And when you were doing those talent shows as a kid, did you actually win any of those talent shows back when you were a youngin'?
I do recall us winning 2 talent shows. We won 2 when I was 12. And then we won another one when I was 14. Right. And you do know that, in that order.
And also, in the year 93, so we're taking you like way back on this one, you were actually featured on Be Legit's album called Trying to Get a Buck with the song Just Livin'. I have to ask you, how did you and B get connected?
Well, me and Be Legit are cousins. If you don't know, MacShawn100, Be Legit, the Funk Mob, Little Bruce, we all cousins from Vallejo, right? And either half of us is from Millersville or half of us from Vallejo. And speaking of that Be Legit album, that was Be Legit trying to get a buck on that album. And speaking about Be Legit trying to get a buck on the album, when you look at the front cover of the album, that's MacShawn100, a young MacShawn100 on the front cover with Be Legit. Us going into the store with the mask and the gun in the bag, going to get the money.
And I have to say this, though, like, I didn't know Be Legit was your cousin. I knew E40 was your cousin, but I didn't know about Be Legit. That's actually really cool. You learn something new every day.
Right, yeah. That whole clique organization, we are all family. The original Sick With It family. All cousins.
And also, you were a part of a rap group from 94 to 98 called the Funk Mob. Can you tell us a story behind that rap group, and, like, how did all of the members get connected?
Okay, now the Funk Mob is an extension of the Sick With It family. You know, as far as the clique family, as far as it being more than E40, Be Legit, D-Shot, and Sugar T. You know, you have MacShawn, Lil Bruce, Levitty, Young Gino, Cabrio, Young Muzzy. And so we decided to perform other smaller groups up under the clique group. And the Funk Mob is the members of the Funk Mob is K1, MacShawn, Lil Bruce, Lil Italy, Young Smitty, and Levitty. And the Funk Mob came out through the Sick With It Jive record deal we had, and the Funk Mob sold about 100,000 units. The Funk Mob was a group that only had put one record out. You know, we had put out a whole album, and then we never revived to follow up, because we had broke away from Sick With It at the time due to a misunderstanding through the family. You know, we were real new to the business at the time. There was a lot of things that we didn't understand at the beginning stages.
Well, hopefully down the road, you know, the Funk Mob will do a reunion concert in Elm. I think hip hop needs that.
I think hip hop needs that too. Hopefully, we can do that up in Canada one of these upcoming days. I would love to revive that. I would love to get a request on them action for the Funk Mob.
most
to
definitely.
rejuvenate and re-energize.
And I have to say though as well, man, Canada needs hip hop down here. We don't get a lot of big hip hop individuals like yourself down here. You know, we get Snoop Dogg maybe once every 3-4 years, and we get Ice Cube every now and then, but we don't really get other hip hop artists down here, man. So I think we need a MacShawn concert in Canada for sure.
Shout out to KL too. KL is my partner. The artist KL from Canada. I want to give KL a shout out. Okay? And the young Clark Mabel. Young Clark Mabel from Toronto. Young Clark. Shout out. And shout out to Drake and the OCO and the OCO crew. The OVO crew. Right, give a shout out to them boys too. Okay? And you do know that. Shout out to Vancouver, West Coast Canada. Shout out to Toronto, East Coast Canada. You do know that.
And also, back in the year 97, you released one of my personal favorite records called For the Mob. Can you tell our listeners actually a bit more about that record? And of course, what was the inspiration behind that record?
It's Time to Mob. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that one.
It's Time to Mob, right. The inspiration behind that record, it was at the time where the Click family, the Stick With It boys, we was putting out that heavy funk mob music. So that's the vibration and the motivation that we was into at that time, right? And us being in the game and in the streets at that time at the same time, it was just so fitting for me to write what I was writing at that time. It fitted the time and the circumstances and the situation, okay? So that was the whole energy behind that. It was during the mobbing time, and so that's why the record is called It's Time to Mob. And it's time to mob with some serious funk. Whether you're riding in your old school Chevy, or your Cutlass Supreme, or your Cougar, or your Mustang, you know, and you got them speakers in the trunk, and you and your partners is riding, because it's time to mob. And if you got some problems to go handle, it's time to ride to go take care of the problem. That means it's time to ride with some serious funk. Also known, it's time to mob with some serious funk. And you do know that. Okay, in that order. Yes, sir. Sir, yes.
And also, in your early years of your career, you were also signed to the legendary Death Row Records. I have to ask you, Sean, how did that record deal come to be for you? And of course, what was it like working for Suge Knight?
First of all, I got tied in with that because me and Daz Dillinger was working on a MacShawn solo album. I was down in L.A. staying with Daz and Papa Snoop and Marina City Del Rey and Marina City Yacht Club paying Daz out of my pocket because Daz was producing my album on the beach. Like, Daz was waking up every weekend driving to the prison going to see Suge. So when Daz told Suge, I got the E40 cousin MacShawn out here working on his shit. Suge say, man, bring Mac to see me. I want to sign him, Mac. So I went down there and went to see Suge at the prison. And, you know, we had a good conversation. We talked. He wanted to do business. He asked me what I wanted. I told him I wanted about $275,000 right then and there. He said, well, nah, MacShawn, tell me what you need right now today for you to come in and fuck with us right now. I said, give me $75,000 now. And I'll let you have one of these songs to put on that compilation. He said, the check will be ready for you Monday. Let's work. Shout out to Suge Knight, too, for giving me that big motherfucking check. Okay?
Hey, man, most definitely, man. I Suge, man, I'll be honest with you. A lot of people don't like him, man, but I have to say, he was one hell of a great business person, man. You know what I mean? He was great with his business.
Suge was all right. Suge was all right at good money, man. But Suge was a motherfucking square, okay? That was the problem. To real gangsters, he was nothing to us, okay? Now, to the weak man, or to the motherfucker that's scared, he's something else. But to the real players and gangsters, he was a square to us, for real. All that bully shit was goofy shit, okay? Well, you know, I'm not from Los Angeles. I'm from the Bay Area. The different flavor up here, a different token. Certain things we don't recognize. Certain things we do recognize. And just because you got money, that don't make you the shit. Okay? It's a lot of rich motherfuckers that's lame in this game. Okay? Do you agree?
Oh, I most definitely agree, man. I most definitely agree. I've heard a lot of stories about Suge, just how he, you know what I mean, would intimidate a lot of people, and when you weren't scared, he didn't know what to do.
Right. Well, the people he was intimidating was squares already. I've never heard him run on no gangster at all.
And also, another album you were signed to as well was actually your cousin's label, E40's, called Sick With It Records. I have to ask you, what was it like working for your cousin? And of course, do you and your cousin have any collabs actually currently in the works?
Yeah. Well, me being one of the founding fathers of Sick With It Records, I started out with my cousin, okay? And helped build that empire over there at the beginning stages. And me and 40 got a few records together. We have a couple of records together. We got one I put out 2 years ago called Smoke the Best. Matter of fact, I want you to pull it up and play it today for the fans and for all the listeners at Outlaw Radio. That's Smoke the Best, MacShawn100 E40. Okay? And you know we have a platinum record together. My first platinum record, MacShawn E40 and Be Legit, record called I'm Writing Sideways, This Way, That Way.
And I will make sure I get that track, Smoke the Best, into rotation directly after this interview for everybody that is listening.
Please do, champ. I appreciate it. You do no less.
And also,
shout out to all.
Oh, sorry about that, Mac. Go ahead.
Shout out to all the listeners that's listening to Outlaw Radio right now. Much love to y'all. Keep moving and grooving and keep popping and locking. And you do know that. Yes, sir.
And you were also featured on multi-platinum selling album The Chronic 2000. I have to ask you, what was it like working on that compilation project, and how does it feel knowing that that is one of hip-hop's biggest records and you were a part of it?
I had 2 songs on that Chronic 2000. I had a song called It's Going Down, MacShawn E40 and Be Legit, and then, excuse me, It's Going Down is MacShawn, Daz Dillinger, The Realest, and Trey E. I got the other song is called I Thought You Knew. I Thought You Knew, but Now You Know. That's MacShawn100 E40 and Daz Dillinger. And both of those records are on the Chronic 2000, Still Smoking, by Death Row.
And when you brought up Daz Dillinger, I have to say, in my personal opinion, he is one of the most underrated producers, man. He is one hell of an artist and also one hell of a producer, man. I really wish he would get more recognition on his producing skills.
Yeah. Daz is an extra really talented and gifted brother. Yes, he is. He do some of the best beats in the world, and he's did some of the biggest records in the world.
And also, aside from the music part of things, you've also been picked up by Canada's leading management company, The One Agency. I have to ask you, how did that opportunity come to be for you, and what is it like working on this side of the border here in Canada?
Well, you know what? I got a lot of love for Canada. My management company, One Agency, Jay and Cliff, they from Canada, okay? They from Vancouver. And they reached out to me through my uncle St. Charles. And at the time, I was looking for management. When you're looking for management, it's hard. Because you want to pick the right people that know how to do the right things. And so I got with them, and we've been doing a lot of good things. Shout out to Juan. Hold on. Hold on, Outlaw. Don't move. The Snoop Dogg called me in. Hold on, this is Snoop. Hold on.
Okay, we will most definitely be here.
Man, Snoop just called me. Snoop Dogg told me to tell Outlaw Radio that he sends his love and shouts out to the whole staff, alright?
Well, first and foremost, I gotta say for that, I'm a huge fan of Snoop Dogg, so that's an honor. So when you talk to him again, Tell him I said shout out to him and thank you for the love.
And you do know that. Yes, sir. Now, what was I at again?
Oh, we were talking about the Juan agency out in Vancouver.
Yeah, shout out to Jay Simpson and Clifford, my managers from the Juan agency from Canada. And you do know that. And we are rocking and rolling.
And also, aside from the Juan agency, I also saw on Instagram that back in April, you also were featured in a song called Cotton Candy. I was wondering if you could tell our listeners just a bit more about that song, and of course, where can our listeners buy or stream themselves up just a copy of that project?
The record Cotton Candy comes from my artist. I have an artist named Shiny Morrell out of Houston, Texas, and Shiny Morrell is actually my cousin. Shiny Morrell's first big single was Cotton Candy featuring Warren G and MacShawn100. And it's out right now on all digital platforms at Shiny Morrell. SHONNIEMURRELL at Shiny Morrell. And Shiny Morrell is a hip-hop R&B singer, and she also is a female drummer girl. So she's like a Sheila E. Okay? And that's
also,
a hot record out.
Sorry about that.
She has a new record out. Shiny Morrell also has a new record what she just came out with last week called Everything. So you guys go online and check out Shiny Morrell, Cotton Candy, featuring Warren G and MacShawn100, and Shiny Morrell featuring Everything by herself.
Most definitely. Everyone that's listening, make sure you stream that and buy yourselves a copy. Support the real, support that Cotton Candy track. Because I have to say, we have it here in rotation on the radio station, and I'm loving that Cotton Candy, man. It's absolute heat.
Cotton Candy is a hot record. Big shout out to Shiny Morrell for doing your thing, girl. Keep doing it, and you don't stop. And you don't stop. And you do know that.
And also, the one thing I do want to ask you, since we talked about Snoop Dogg a few moments ago, how did you get connected with Snoop Dogg? Like, what's the story behind that?
Well, me, Snoop, the Dog Pound and the Click family been together for about 30 years. We first met in 1993 in Atlanta at the Freak Meet. Okay, Jack the Rap at the Freak Meet. MacShawn100, Be Legit, and the Funk Mob, and P.O. and a few more other dudes. We walked in the elevator at the Hyatt Regency Hotel on Peachtree, downtown Atlanta. When we walked in the elevator, it was Daz Corrupt, Nate Dogg, and Warren G in the Dog. Okay, us being from California and Nate being from California, we were rapping in the game before them. So they knew exactly who we was, and we knew who they was, because they just got in the game around that time.
And also, aside from that side from Snoop Dogg, you also have a song that just came out with him called "So Wet, So Fly." Can you tell us the story behind that track, and also where can our listeners buy or stream themselves a copy of that single?
Okay, so the song called "So Fly, So Wet," that's MacShawn's latest single featuring Snoop Dogg. It's out on all digital platforms and all digital outlets. You can go anywhere and get it. So Fly, So Wet is up to about 200,000 streams right now and steady growing. The video is out on all video outlets as well.
If it keeps streaming like that, you guys are going to get a gold record.
Oh, yeah. The record is steady climbing. It's steady going. It's not stopping. And I appreciate all the fans and all the listeners and all the support. All the MacShawn100 fans out there, I love y'all so much. And I do appreciate the love that y'all send back. It's reciprocated, and you do know that. So Fly, So Wet out right now. MacShawn100 featuring Snoop Dogg. Go get it and get it now.
And the one thing I do want to ask you, Mac, is there anything else you want to promote? What's next for MacShawn? Is there anything else I missed during this interview that you want to tell our listeners about?
Well, the next MacShawn100 big single will be out for the 4th of July. Called Yes Sir, Sir Yes, featuring MacShawn100. And you do know that. And so be on the lookout for it. July 4th, 4th of July, the new MacShawn100. Yes, sir. Sir, yeah. Nationwide, all over the world. Support the movement. Support the get out. Next, I got alkaline CBD water coming to you guys. And next, I have the MAC100 PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric pre-rolls. Okay? Are all high-powered Kush gas. The MAC100 PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric pre-rolls. Okay? All that is coming up in about 30 days. The tree port water is my alkaline CBD water. So when you guys see it, support the tree port water and water forever. Okay? And once again, shout out to Outlaw Radio for showing MacShawn100 that love and letting me come on this Saturday, man, and give some good vibration and some good spiritual endowment on this airwave, man.
You are most certainly welcome, Sean. And before we let you go, I was wondering if you could drop your social media handles, just that way our listeners can follow the legendary MacShawn if they're not already doing so. But I hope they are, because they're in the place where your music spins all the time. So hopefully they're already following you. But if you can, drop them handles for us.
Listen, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, everything else, everything is MacShawn100. All one word, no spaces. Everything is at MacShawn100. DM me, send me a message. I'll receive it myself. I take care of all my business. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, there's all at MacShawn100. And you do know that. Okay? Yes, sir. One love, and shout out to Outlaw Radio, 97.7.
I gotta say, Sean, thank you again so much. I've been a fan of your music for a long time, so it's an absolute honor and a privilege to have you on my radio station. I hope down the road we can do it again. But I'll let you get back to your Saturday. You know, it's a beautiful day probably out in California, so have yourself a wonderful day, Mac, and looking forward to doing this again.
All right, much love. Much love, DJ Immortal. I appreciate you, homeboy. Yes, sir. One love.
One love, brother.
You know that. All right.